Hello, my Alexians. That is what I'm gonna call you. If you don't like it, come up with something yourself. Okay? No, I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean. If you don't like it, come up with something yourself. Because I just thought about that right before I hit record. Sorry, I kind of broke my brain in lit today. So, okay. So I was going to do a different video, but I'm gonna do this one. Okay. So, the title of this one is gonna be I broke my brain today, and here's how. So, we were sitting in lit today, AP lit, okay? And so we were doing like speed dating. Okay. Let me That was my teacher's way of putting it. Okay, so our version of speed dating was that we each had a prompt and we had to write about the prompt, but it was just like little tidbits, like kind of like a, I don't know what it's called. Like, when you write out little steps of what you might do or whatever. Well, not really steps. Kind of like an analysis of it, of like what you would do. It's like, okay, I would use this book because this symbolizes this, and this relates to the text because of this, and then this would go here, and then it's basically like you're plotting out the whole thing, okay? But you only had 6 minutes to do it. And then the paper would be passed to the next person. So basically the paper was the guy in speed dating, and we were the dates, or our answers were the dates or whatever. And these weren't great. It was just like, okay, so we're just doing this to get practice, right? And so I get this one that talks about how social issues relate to how a novel uses a symbol or a character to relate to social or political changes, or how they go against it. And so if you haven't taken AP, or if you're like a 10-year-old watching this, which, okay, I don't know why you are, but whatever. Have fun with your life. I'm not that interesting, so I don't know what you're doing here. Anyways, it's basically like, is it something that's normal for that time period, or is it something that's not? And how does that relate to the story? Like, how is that a big part of the story? And so I decided to use Peter Pan. And okay, before I say this, if you know this, I'm mad at you. Like, I am upset, frustrated, angry with you. I said those in the wrong order, but I am angry with you because I don't know why I didn't realize this, but this has broken my brain, people, okay? Like my train of thought just went choo 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 choo. I broke my brain, okay? Alright, so now that I've said my disclaimer, Peter Pan is about conformity. Conformity! It is about conformity. Okay, let me explain how this broke my brain. Okay, so I was answering this prompt, and I was like, okay, I can use Peter Pan. The book. Not a movie. Good movie though. Well, yeah, good movie though. All of them. Okay, including the musical. Musical was good too. Okay, anyways. Okay, book. So I was like, well, Peter not wanting to grow up symbolizes every kid's desire to not grow up. But but as the characters in the books grow up, they turn out like their parents, which is something that not a lot of kids want, but in that time period it was normal. So he didn't want to turn out like his parents, even though he never really knew them, which was also not normal for the time period. And then when he wound up killing the Lost Boys, when they started growing up, because it was against the rules, he he didn't want them to turn out like their parents, so he was saving them in his eyes. And then I sat there for a second because I was like, okay, I need to write more about this. And so I read over what I wrote and I was like, conformity. Conformity, it's not growing up. It's about conformity. He doesn't want them to conform. And so here's how this is relevant, okay? Because I know some of you people out there who absolutely love Peter Pan, like I did, are sitting there like, no, he just doesn't want to grow up, and he doesn't really kill the Lost Boys. And let me tell you, he kills the Lost Boys, okay? But we gonna get to that, okay? So Peter doesn't want to conform to society. And so he runs away to Neverland, or, well, okay, in the book, okay, whatever. Okay, so he runs away. That's not normal, okay? He's going against conformity. He gets a girl to run away from him. That's going against conformity. Said girl does run away with him, and as far as we know, kind of falls in love with him. Even though she's kind of young, but, no judgment, no judgment. If you think you love somebody, you love somebody. Have at it, okay? So, anyways, probably shouldn't have. Okay, disregard the last thing I just said, because I'm not really sure, like, what circumstances you're going through. But for this case, if she loves him, then she loves him, whatever. Okay, anyways, so she runs away with this guy and starts living with him, and they're not married. And, okay, not conformity, even though she's a kid. And her mother's okay with this after she gets back. Also not conformity. The dad's a biggie on conformity, because he's like, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that, and you have to do this specifically, and blah, 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 right? Okay, so, this might be a long video. Anyways, so when Wendy grows up she starts conforming. She goes back to her home, leaves Neverland. She leaves Peter behind, but invites him to come back. When he finally does come back, since time is different in the two areas, I guess we're gonna call them areas, she's married. She has kids. She's like her mom. She's exactly like her mom. She's conformed, and she has broken Peter's heart. Peter already doesn't like conformity. But now he hates it, because the one girl who didn't want to conform wound up going against everything he taught her and conforming anyways, and it broke his heart. And then the Lost Boys start conforming. They become conformist. Peter already hates conformity because of what it has done to him through Wendy's conformity. And so he starts to kill them off in hatred. Maybe trying to save them in his own twisted way, but his drive for actually murdering them is through hatred, through the emotion of a broken heart. And I broke my brain. I twisted my soul and broke my brain in this, because, he hates Wendy now, and that goes against, what I thought. And I mean, I know you can't really be set in your ways because things change and blah, 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 blah. But, this is epic, people. This needs to be heard. This needs to be discovered. Because all those kids who were out there watching plays and movies and reading books about Peter Pan are going to one day grow up and figure out that just like everything else they've ever heard, it's a lie. Or it's figurative for something that's way bigger than them and that they can't understand when they're little because it's so over their heads, and it's like, blah. And then when they do find it out when they're older, they're like, no, it can't be because That's ruining my life. That Tumblr on ruined childhood. You are the reason. We are so screwed up. Or, well, no, not you yourselves, but some of the things that you post are like, no! And you are the reason that we have mental breakdowns. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry. I love ruined childhood on Tumblr, okay? Because most of the stuff I know. But I need somebody to take out my rage on because I'm crying and dying and raging internally and it's killing me. So, yeah, I broke my brain today. And that's how. I might change the title of this just to I broke my brain. I don't know. But sorry this is kind of long. Okay. Bye my Alexandrians. I'm gonna go with that. Because Alexians is kind of weird. Alexandrians. Goodbye my Alexandrians. Love you guys.